Hello, welcome to Attract, Develop, Retain. So I got to thank my man, Corin Smith. He dropped a message the other day that really got me thinking, and his message super aligned with a big part of the SMART system, which is the motivate section of the SMART system. How do we get our people to care? So one of the things he talked about, which, man, just really hit me, resonated with me hugely, is what's the number one asset in your business? Do you think it's, a building? Do you think it's maybe your trucks or your equipment? The only real asset in your business is your people and your teams. And the problem is that people, they're not machines, right? So, equipment, you can, keep it running, you can lube it up, you can have service people change belts and do different things, right? To keep the equipment running optimally, right? You can brush the coils so it gets air. You can do all this stuff, right? But people aren't that way, and they don't respond like equipment. You can't turn them on and off. You don't own them, and they work heavily off of emotion. Sometimes they feel like they're working in your business because of an obligation, right? They have to be there to pay their bills. They got to take care of their family. But they don't always come from a place of passion and purpose, right? The need to grow and expand. They don't think and act like we do. They're not vested the same way that we are. So, business owners, they'll invest in equipment and, trucks and buildings and all this stuff, but very rarely do they invest in their people. And this is the number one place that leaders fail. And then they can't figure out why they're not getting the massive results that they need. So I had this generator, and it was in my shed, and it basically sat at the back of the shed, right? And the winter came, it was a mild winter, and it basically just sat there in the shed. And there was no power outages or anything like that, right? So then I got busy, and the spring came, and then the summer came, and then the fall came, and I'm getting all this stuff done. I've literally piled things in front of the generator in the shed. And then now winter came, right? The next year, winter came, and it was one of those heavy, wet snowstorms. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? Where like the freaking branches are like bending down because there's so much weight on them because of the heavy snow and the ice. And the storm knocked out a bunch of power lines on my street. So my wife calls freaking out. She's like, we got no power. You got to get home and hook the generator up, right? So I dragged the generator out of the shed, get it up on the porch, plug everything in. And then what do you think happened, right? It didn't work. The generator wouldn't start because I didn't maintain it, right? I didn't do the things I needed to do. So the minute I needed that generator, it didn't work, right? I didn't put in the work yesterday to make sure that when I needed that generator, it wasn't ready for me to go. So that is something that we don't always do with people, right? We don't put the work in with our people, so that way when we need them, they're ready to go, right? So I had this girl that worked for me, and she was super good. This was back when I was with Dunkin' Donuts, and she was awesome, right? But then I started, she was doing such a great job that I took my eye off the ball. I started doing all these other things. And then one day she comes in and she quit. And she got another job because what happened? I took my eye off of developing her. I took my eye off of engaging her. And I kind of set her and forgot her. And she eventually got frustrated and left, right? So, that's the principle of this is that, people aren't equipment. They need maintenance though, like equipment. And people, they work off of emotion and they need to be engaged. And as leaders, if we want certain things from our team, we have to engage with them. So not only are we the problem, but we're also the possibility and the solution by engaging with our people. So that's all.